It's great to be with all you lovely minds. Minds with ideas, minds with energy, and minds with a zeal to change the world around. Today, India is a very young demography. And all these young minds are stretching their limits to change the world around. To change the way monetary policies are running this country, to change the way the education is being delivered in this country, the power systems, the health systems, infusion of technology in governance, and many more such ideas. In fact, we are living in amazing times. 50% of Indians are not even 25, many of you. And 65% of Indians are not even 35, many of us. But to bring the fundamental change in the way this country is being governed, these young population should be heading to a place where it matters. Yes, the Parliament of India. But let's question, are enough young people reaching the Parliament? I think the answer is no. This is from the 2014 Parliament. It says India elects its oldest ever Parliament. The average age of Lok Sabha is 56 years, not so young. Hardly 12 MPs, Member of Parliaments, are less than 30. And a minuscule 13% are in the age category of 25 to 40. And when I see the names of these young MPs, who are they? Dushyant Chautala, Jyotiraditya Scindia, Paswan. So all of them who comes from a traditional strong family. So they are not in the Parliament because they are young. They are in the Parliament because they come from a strong political family. So we the young want to take a road which leads us to Parliament. Let's see what will that road look like. So for that, let's decode that how the people who are already in the Parliament or been in the Parliament before reach there. I call it feeder lines to politics. So the first feeder line is a Rahul Gandhi feeder line, meaning you're born in a strong political family, you sustain and maintain the stream, and you use the leverage to enter the political arena. Fine, fair. Sounds very lucrative, right? But not so useful for us because we don't control the family we are born into, right? Second feeder line, I call it Navjot Singh Sidhu feeder line. Meaning, you excel in a field, non-political field, you become a public face, and then you exploit that fame to enter into politics. People from Bollywood and cricket have done it successfully in past. But again, it's very hard to imagine that Sidhu might have worked hard on his cricketing career 30 years back just to enter into politics. I guess not. Again, hard to imagine that Hema Malini worked in so many movies just to one day land into politics. So those sound lucrative, but may not be a very smooth feeder line. Third feeder line is IAS officer, civil servant feeder line. Like in the picture, Congress politician Shri P.L. Punia. So civil servant, while working with their political bosses, get close to them and take that route smoothly to enter into politics. But again, I think it's hard to imagine that lakhs of UPSC aspirants try to crack the toughest exam in India just to land into politics. Fourth one is walking up the ladders through student politics. So, every political party has a student wing, right? ABVP for BJP, NSUI for Congress, Samajwadi Chhatra Sabha for Samajwadi Party, Aam Aadmi Party has CYSS, and so on. So what you do, in a college or a university, you represent student issues, you align yourself with the student wing of a political party, and then smoothly transcend yourself to the parent party. Like in the picture, Mr. Jaitley, the current finance minister, he's from ABVP background, and he was a very active member of Delhi University Student Union. But again, the trend have changed over years. Earlier, you enter the student politics, and slowly, you used to take the position of high and mighty. But now it's other way around. Only the sons and daughter of high and mighty enter student politics. And moreover, if you are still young and not in college, you may not want to go back to college and do student politics. And anyways, in professional colleges like yours, thousands of private colleges, student unions don't even exist and not even encouraged. Fifth one is a very, very interesting feeder line, and the most common feeder line if you see your MLAs and MPs. I call it civil contractors feeder line, thekedars as we know them. So every district in India has around couple of thousand crores of budget. And apart from being spent on welfare spending, a lot of this budget is spent on construction, small road, panchayat bhavan, a school building, a school wall, a water tank, a lot of it. And such projects are not executed by L&Ts of the world, they are executed by the local contractors. And these local contractors get this work from the district administration, but through the influence of a local MLA or local MP. So these bunch of civil contractors in every district are very powerful people because they fund the politician, they are hand in glove with the local administration, and they are powerful money and power wise, right? And in the process of getting bigger projects, so if a contractor is doing a 10 crore rupee road today and he may want to do a 100 crore rupee bridge tomorrow, he may need a bigger influence, and in the process they end up pushing themselves into politics or their family members into politics. So now all the civil engineers here know if they want to be a politician, they know what to do. Now coming to the last one, and this feeder line is what is for us. It's the most exciting feeder line. And very simply, it is someone who is working in the office of a politician. And it ranges from being a sidekick, a chamcha of a politician, to a serious political intern, like a PRS LAM fellow working on a policy part. Because these days, the live parliament is watched by many. What a politician says inside the parliament or outside is being scrutinized, threadbare at 9 o'clock in the night. Nation wants to know, right? Social media has become a very important platform, right? So every politician wants to sound smart, wants to be very smart on the social media. So all the politicians engage research fellows, communication fellows, and strategy fellows. Electioneering has also become very technical these days, very data oriented in the technology. So if you know this guy called Prashant Kishore, a campaign strategist who worked on the Narendra Modi campaign in 2014, then worked with Nitish Kumar, and now working with Rahul Gandhi in Uttar Pradesh. So there's a whole stream of campaign strategists, a new age people has come. And what is unique about this feeder line is that it needs people like you, who are well versed in a local language in English, who are social media savvy, who are digitally literate, who are literate in research. And what this feeder line does, that it generates what I call it political capital for you. You start knowing political people. You start making your own political circle. You start making the political sense of things around you. And if you work hard, they may also earn you, which is something very important in politics, political godfathers. And along with that, if you start doing some social element, you start running a campaign offline or online, you start writing for newspapers, you work in a geography to resolve the problems of the people, you end up earning social capital. So the bottoms up social capital that you've earned and the influence of the political capital that you have, now you have the levers to maneuver the doors of politics. And if you think that political capital, social capital doesn't work for you, a lot of people also talk about why can't we have reservation for youth. So like we have women reservation and reservations of some castes in municipal and panchayat election, and we have reserved seat in Lok Sabha. Can't we have proportional representation for youth? The numbers we see in the starting. That's one way to think. We can also start a movement to simulate parliaments across the country in colleges, schools, so people get educated, the students get educated about the role of the parliament, the important role of the parliament. And let's say nothing excites you. You don't want to be in mainstream politics, but you still want to affect the way country is being governed. So being a bill draft to act, there are various stages that you can intervene. You can work for a think tank. Like if you know the rule of declaring your assets and criminal record while you're fighting election is brought by an organization called ADR. The rule that current government is thinking about measuring the learning outcome of every class till grade 8th is promoted by Pratham and Center for Civil Society. You can also be activist. You can take the RTI's route. You can file a lot of PLs in the court. Like the current demonetization started by Baba Ramdev, Arth Kranti, like the Anna Hazare movement, which gave us the Lokpal bill. So that is also one route. You can also influence your local MP and ask him to ask your concerns in the parliament in form of questions, in form of debates, in form of private member bills. And during the route of from bill to act, most of the bill land up in something called a parliamentary standing committee. And they all advertise that normal people can send your representation there, you can send your suggestions there, and if your suggestions are liked, they call you for the representation. So there are a lot of ways that you can still do it, right? So guys, India is changing very rapidly, with your ideas or without your ideas. Now we have to decide, do we have within us the perseverance, the courage and the intellect to move these levers, to enter into politics and to enter into parliament, which is currently not too welcoming for the youth. With that, thanks for listening. Jai Hind.